crisis in Rivers State, which led to the suspension of Governor Siminalayi FUBARA. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom WIKE, says he is open to reconciliation, but only if FUBARA offers a sincere apology. WIKE said this speaking during a media parley in Abuja on Friday. He questioned the sincerity of the ongoing peace efforts and stressed the need for genuine dialogue to resolve the impasse. Let's take a look.
He who wears the shoe knows where it pitches him. You know, right? You're comfortable. So hold on. Look at the circumstance where you are. You should take the bull by the horn. Take steps. I told you here. Has anybody approached anybody?
So Governor FUBARA hasn't called you on the line since his suspension?
I have told you, have anybody approached anybody? You know, when you say, I don't like people who are hypocrites. I have told you, mention one leader, one so-called elder in Rivers that has taken steps. Those of them who are running around the governor, collecting money. I now, one of them is always in the golf club. I did the golf course here, playing golf. As a golfer to say, look, now we're under this kind of situation. What do we do? 6 months will still be over. Have we achieved the peace we are supposed to achieve? Because at the end of the day, if we don't achieve anything, then we still go back to square one.
Well, the silence of Governor Siminalayi FUBARA worries WIKE a lot. The suspension of FUBARA and the State Assembly members was never what WIKE wanted to achieve. We're right now taking a look at tweets on this situation. This tweet goes on to say he, that is WIKE, is as confused as his supporters because Bola Tinubu played a fast one on WIKE too. He goes on to say WIKE cannot understand how his employer, Tinubu, suspended his assembly members but still praised him in all his addresses. The real plan of WIKE was for Governor FUBARA to be suspended while the State Assembly impeached the governor while on suspension. The advantage is still with Siminalayi FUBARA. 6 months is almost over. We know this from up here. And another tweet from executive, I believe, that's just a tweak to that name. It goes on to say a non-elected government official asking a democratically elected governor to apologize to him highlights the depths of corruption and bad governance in Nigeria. This abnormality should not exist in a democratic state such as Nigeria. Now, before we take the next story, I think we can come in on this conversation swiftly. Of course, that media parley over an hour long, so lots of different issues addressed, including the Rivers State crisis. But I think what really stood out to a lot of people was Nyesom WIKE's statement about the apology. Him saying that FUBARA should apologize to him. Now, the big question is, what is FUBARA apologizing for? And is there any need for this apology? Also, what does this tell us about the realities of this state of emergency in Rivers State and its causes? Is it really insecurity or, as has been said several times, highly politically motivated?
Well, I think the received wisdom is that, look, the manner of the declaration of that state of emergency, even when it is supported by Section 305, the manner of execution has been unconstitutional, illegal, unlawful, and, that's the received opinion on that particular subject. And there are persons from Rivers State who are saying they didn't think that there was any justification. But so on that subject, opinion is divided. 2, opinion is also divided on the conduct of the sole administrator who, was put in that position by President Tinubu, and he himself has even been behaving like an overlord, acting beyond the powers that may be available to him. In fact, the very fact of having a retired military officer as sole administrator or any sole administrator at all, people are saying is unconstitutional because it amounted to the removal of democratic structures. Number 3 is the role of Minister WIKE in this matter. This morning, we had the acting chairman of the PDP on this program, and we raised a number of questions. 1, Governor WIKE, Minister WIKE says Governor FUBARA should come and apologize to him. And you have asked the question, to come and apologize for what?
For what?
WIKE has been quoted as saying, well, President Tinubu even did FUBARA a favor by, declaring a state of emergency, that what he wanted was for him to have been impeached. So you find in this particular instance, one man playing the role of God not just over FUBARA, but also over the affairs of Rivers State. Number two, the same man says that the PDP is a, to use a common word, a useless party that cannot win elections in 2027. And we asked, we posed the question to the chairman of the PDP in Rivers, that WIKE, to the best of our knowledge, not what he was saying, is still a member of the People's Democratic Party. Okay, the PDP has a constitution. There's something about anti-party activities. Yes. Why is it that WIKE is so powerful that nobody in the PDP can call him to order, either by way of suspension or by way of expulsion? He's a member of the party, and he's saying that in 2027, it's Tinubu that he will campaign for and support, not just in Rivers State, but elsewhere. And then the PDP says we are organizing for 2027. No, they may have abdicated responsibility at the highest levels in that party. Three, Minister WIKE, we just heard him now, saying that so-called elders of Rivers State who are running around the governor to collect money. Now, that's a serious allegation. We have had many elders from Rivers State involved in this politics on this program. WIKE says they are so-called. In other words, he's questioning their bona fide in this matter. He's also saying they are running around collecting money. I think the elders of Rivers State, well, they have the right of reply. Let them speak up. Because what he's accusing them is that these are very corrupt elders. He didn't make any exemption amongst them. Yeah. And number four, he says nobody is thinking about the future of Rivers State. But I assume that what Minister WIKE means in that regard is that Rivers State cannot move forward except these so-called elders who are collecting money, running around just to collect money. I believe they know themselves, unless they come to him to come and make peace with him. Well, there are elders in other communities, but we have just heard that the ones from Rivers State are so-called, and they are looking for money. I think you are from Rivers.
No, I'm actually from Anambra State.
Okay, but you grew up in Rivers.
No, I did not. Why would you think so? I'm telling you, there must be something Rivers related. But, just to add to what she said, Vimba, I'd like you to jump in on this as well. PDP chieftain Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce was on a rise this weekend. And he said there will be a convention, I think, in August. It's been moved from October. That's a PDP convention. And Minister Nyesom Wike will be seemingly dealt with or punished during this convention in response to whether or not they don't have...
we have had that before.
They will deal with him at that. So what's your take on this? The fact that he feels there must be an apology.
Well, first of all, PDP announcing a convention, do we know if it's the legitimate one, the illegitimate one? The South come and meet, they say they are illegitimate. So we don't even know whether this is the legitimate convention that they are advertising, that they plan to hold. Apology for what is the real question here.
Audacity.
There obviously is a lot of animosity that happened between these two gentlemen. And I think it's always important for us to be able to separate issues of governance from issues of personal dispute or personal disagreement. Unfortunately, the waters have been muddied with regards to this particular case, and we're seeing it all playing out at the expense of the people of Rivers State. Now, he's already said that he had every intention. Remember, before he had separated himself from impeachment and all of that, tried to unconvincingly separate himself from the fact that these House of Assembly members are working for him, or rather working under his guidance, and are looking to execute a particular game plan, which is impeaching the governor. He had denied that. I'm glad he has now come back to accept and affirm that, in fact, that had been the plan, that was his wish and his desire before the president now stepped in. So we now ask our questions, what is really happening in Rivers State, and under whose agenda is it playing out under? All of this, for me, ties together with the fact that when you look at PDP and the PDP governors and so forth, the speculation is rife about those who are going to be crossing the floor. And so could this have been some sort of a strategy, some sort of a tactic to bring FUBARA back into the fold, into the center of power, if I may call it that, so that Nyesom Wike no longer becomes the man who wields all of the cards where Rivers State is concerned? For me, it's a question mark. But there's a lot of strategy at play here, a lot of different moving pieces, several assumptions as well. We won't delve into the world of assumption. However, an apology right now, the only people who deserve and are owed an apology are the people of Rivers State. That's my take on that.
All right, and of course, Adifemi, real quick, so we could just...